All right, Patreon, welcome back to the channel. We just got here to the park. This is me and Fonzie's first time here at the park. I'm just going to take you through a little bit of my particular preferred methodology. What do I do? And when Chad takes a dog to the park, what does he do? Specifically if it's the first time, but honestly, I do a lot of this I do this with my personal dogs too, all right? And I'm going to try to explain a little bit as we go here, focusing on the task at hand, producing content at the same time. The ADHD brain, sometimes it gets a little bit all over the place, so bear with me. I appreciate you for that. First and foremost, let's talk about how we travel. I travel in a rough land kennel. It's my preferred number one crate period. Not only is it best to travel with because it's very space efficient, it's extremely durable, and I just love them. They're easy to clean. I am not sponsored by Roughland. I've paid full price for every single Roughland kennel I have. But I also travel with a little elastaband there to make sure that the kennel doesn't move anywhere, because if it's not latched down properly, it could still be dangerous for the dog in the event of a wreck or something like that. But the first thing I want to show you guys is that I do have a shorter leash for him. This is called a prong collar leash. It has a short end and it also has a long end. Now the long end is for the backup. This is sort of the backup portion of this leash. This is by Leerburg, Leerburg. I don't know if they still sell them. They're about $80 a pop. Real leather, extremely well put together. There's a poor man's prong collar leash that I could probably make a whole nother video on that I could show you that does the same exact trick, but for like literally like a 50th of the price. Anyway, short one goes to the prong collar, long one goes to the flat collar for the backup. The prong collars that I use typically don't fail, but it's just nice to have in your back pocket. And I typically will use these with dogs that are like super reactive to other dogs, or dogs that are potentially dangerous in some sort of context or another. Fonzie's not that guy. Fonzie's like such a fucking good dog, dude. Like honestly, like if anything ever happened with him and his owner and it couldn't work out, I'd be asking for him. You know, I'd love to have him on my property. I'd love to hold on to him. I probably wouldn't plan on keeping him because I have my own 5 dogs, but I would hold on to him long enough to find him in another situation, which isn't the case. It's the whole reason why he's here, so his owner could keep him. I'm just saying that because I don't say that about all the dogs. I could promise you that. He's a good kid. He's an American bully. You're about to see him right now. But okay, let's get back to, the first thing that I do every single time I come to the park for the first time with a client dog. I'm going to put this away because we're not going to use this right now. We're going to bust out the long leash. All right. And if you don't have a long leash in your dog training tool repertoire, I don't know what the hell you're doing. This is going to go home with my client, Pete. Pete, I know you're probably watching this video. This one's going home with you, bro. Every single dog owner that comes to my place, comes for training, gets one of these, because this is just a part of the process, dude. It puts us in a better position to do a couple of things without having tension, and it allows us to give the dog a little bit more space, a little more freedom, the allowance to discover, the allowance to have a good time, no tension. And we could also, work recall stuff at further distances while also having like a leash still attached. He doesn't have perfect off-leash recall, so of course we're going to have some sort of line attached to him. And the thing that I love about this is like this is a completely new context. It's a completely new setting for him. We've been training for the last week at my property, doing things, shaping obediences and doing confidence building stuff. And I know, dude, getting our relationship in order before we step out into this sort of setting, which is going to prove to have, like, there's a dog coming here, there's people. Just being in the new environment all by itself is a new look. And this is why I say this is such an important part of my programs, because if you could get a dog to sit in your kitchen, but you can't get him to sit anywhere else, you don't have a sit, you don't have anything. The dog only knows that. And so that's why it's super important to switch up the environment, put your dog in multiple situations and practice all the things that you've been practicing everywhere, not just in your kitchen. Like people come to my place and they're like, hey, my dog knows sit, and they like ask him to sit and they don't do it because they're so tweaked out by the new environment and they've never practiced doing that behavior in a different context. Does that make sense? Beautiful. So I put it on his flat collar. Wait. Okay. I'm gonna make him wait. I'm going to make him wait a little bit. Steady. Okay. I'm going to let him come out. I'm going to let him go straight into checking shit out. Got to close my shit. I'm going to let him go straight into it. No tension, no nothing. Check out your new environment, buddy. Enjoy it. Get some of this out. You know what I'm saying? Get some of this out. Good boy. It's not only about the training aspect. It's about having a good time together. That falls right into relationship focus. Focus on relationship. It's not all about tension. It's not all about corrections. It's about giving him the opportunity to adjust, to acclimate, to have a good time, to use his number one tool, which is his nose. How else is a dog going to familiarize if we're not giving them the opportunity to do so? Does that make sense? Beautiful. I'm so happy it does. Now, all we're going to do, it's tough. I wish I had a cameraman because I got to hold the camera stand. We're just going to go check the shit out, dude. Here in a little bit, I'm going to have him jumping up on these things. Is that gold? You found a little gold chain. Yeah, good boy. Plus, your dog might have to pee. So just give it him, you know what I'm saying? Good times. Having good times. I'm going to put the camera down right here. And thankfully, since I got this shifty new microphone, you're going to be able to hear me just the same, even though I'm drifting further and further away from the fucking camera itself. Good boy. Good boy. And so let's expedite. Let's talk about what the next thing I would do. I'm going to have to make sure he doesn't knock over my camera stand. As soon as I feel like he's pissed, he's got an opportunity to sniff around, get his initial excitement out. See, because the thing is, I like to help the dog out and I like to help myself out by allowing him to do exactly what I've just been showing you. Because there's nothing, like it gets to a point where he's not quite as pent up anymore because you've given him the opportunity to get some of those initial jitters out. Every single dog in the history of dogs is going to exit the vehicle super excited about the new environment, super curious. Lots of like pent up frustration. And so one healthy way, in my opinion, to help him out in that regard is to just do what I'm telling you right now. Because then as soon as those initial excitements are out of the way, I could then now start to maybe go into some, you know, some training, some more, asking more of him. Does that make sense? I'm super happy it does. So let's do a little like fun recall drill. He's not paying attention to me right now. So I'll like try to like make a noise or something, maybe even say his name. Fonzie. Yeah. Boom. He comes back to me and he gets like something really cool. Ah. Oh. Oh. Papa. Yes. Oh. 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 Oof. Oof. Good. Sit. Yes. Good. Good boy. Gameplay. He loves it. You come to a new environment where everything else around you is going to be competing with you for his attention. It's called competing motivators. Right now, there's not a whole lot going on, but again, it's the fact that it's a completely new environment. That in itself already is going to change the game for him. The bench, the light pole, the trees, the grass, these are technically competing motivators. And I purposefully came at the time that I did because we're going to start here and then we're going to move into something a little more stimulating, like chasing down dogs walking by, people walking by, something that's even a little more stimulating and interesting. And you come to this place and you work your gameplay together, you're building your relationship, you're asking for obedience commands, and then you're taking it to the next level from there. So, but mostly it's about having a good time. And I really can't stress that enough. Like, especially with a dog like him that loves to play, the more you play with him, the more engaging you're going to be with him, the more interesting you're going to be to him, the better your relationship will be. So it's not just about going places. It's like, what are you doing when you get to these places? It really makes a difference because I think a lot of people miss out on the opportunity to continue building their relationship with their dog because they don't understand what their dog is motivated by. They don't really understand how important it is to continuously engage. And hey, oh, 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 yeah, oof, oh, oh, good, oof, out, yes. Awesome. So you have a secondary motivator to get him to let go of the first one, and then you're immediately rewarding him with that second toy. And what this is doing is it's teaching him, yes, hey, oh, yes, oof, out, yes. It's teaching him that when I let go of something, I'm going to get rewarded for it. And with a dog like Fonz, when he's on it, he's on it. So I got to show him that letting it go, there's something in it for him. And I'm going to end this video here because I'm going to get back to work. But it's like, dogs are extremely intelligent. But in the same breath, I could say that they're easily manipulated. Going back to understanding what the things are that your dogs are interested in and things like that. So they're super smart, but they're also technically kind of easy to manipulate. And I think the trick is, come here, Papa, understanding how to manipulate them, leaning into what's in it for the dog, but also formulating healthy patterns to get the things that you're going to want and to get the things that you're going to need. Captain Chad Gabbs, Fonzarelli, I appreciate you tuning in. Pete, love you, bro. This video is for you.